Johnson Asiedu Nketia and this answer me about the top until we could be more. Joy news. Just a one-on-one with a Johnson Asiedu Nketia. Na Asiedu Nketia didn't seem to be about the top until FIA judiciary sectors no, especially a Chief Justice CJ Torkunoo. Ne maame Torkunoo ho nsɛnsɛm bebree na ɔkyerɛ sɛ amanfoɔ bebree na lose trust. Saa na Asiedu Nketia ɛka amanfoɔ bebree na lose trust ɛwɔ judiciary sectors no mu. Na Asiedu Nketia de nkyerɛkyerɛmu aba abɛto abɔnten how a wɔn pɛ sɛ wɔn si build saa trust no ebiem saa ɛwɔ judiciary no mu. Na mɛpɛ sɛ yɛbɛkɔ akɔtie nsɛm a ɔno ankasa ɛde to abɔnten. Ayɛ Nkasa TV. Subscribe to my channel, like it, never adwene go comment section come.
That 70-80% of Ghanaians have lost trust in the judiciary and or in the Electoral Commission or in some other institution. And you say that, I've heard that in democracy you don't touch the judiciary. I've heard that in democracy you don't touch. So who corrects the judiciary?
It corrects itself.
That is why it is correcting itself. Because the Constitution shows how judiciary corrects itself.
The Chief Justice disagrees, at least the suspended Chief Justice. Today, she did an unprecedented press conference. And something she said, quote, I have also heard several commentaries in the media about how this process was born out of a stated political agenda to remove me and control the judiciary, and that it is a political effort that can only result in a charade of a hearing that is played out. Then it thanks those who have engaged her and made the point to her. She's right, as you know, that this is all a charade. It's part of the stated political agenda.
Evans, tell me, apart from this process that is ongoing, the existing judiciary which she left, which part of it has been tempered with by the NDC government?
She's a figurehead. If you touch her, you touch her.
No, I know. This is the first thing that is being touched. But we are using the existing structures that she's superintended over to do that work. So if the judiciary was good when she was head, why does she think that the judiciary is not capable of undertaking this assignment of removing her in a fair manner?
Because she believes that the politicians in your party are manipulating that structure to get her out.
So is the judiciary capable of being manipulated by politicians? If that is the case, then it justifies every effort to reset the judiciary so that in future it never gets manipulated by politicians.
But one person taking out the Chief Justice is not necessarily reforming, another word for resetting, if you like, the judiciary.
But it begins from somewhere. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a first step. So if that is the beginning, and she herself, listening to her during these press conferences.
You listened?
It appears that everything that is happening in the judiciary now is wrong. But we haven't changed the judiciary she is superintended over. So if she thinks that the judiciary that existed is capable of being manipulated by politicians and so on, then she's confirming that there is a need for reset in the judiciary. So it should assist us to reset the judiciary.
By doing what? When you say she should assist you, how can she assist you?
By complying with the law and then the processes that are there, cooperating with the committee as much as possible to state her case with the committee instead of press conferences, and let's see how that process leads us.
Is she right when he says this was plotted even before you won power?
Who plotted it?
He says stated political agenda. So few of you conspired to do this.
Is it possible for a political agenda to be executed by the judiciary, which she is superintendent over. If that is it, nothing has changed. But I'm asking you, what have we changed in the judiciary which he was heading? We haven't changed anything. All the judges are the same judges that existed when she was heading. And she was proclaiming that the law is the law, the processes are there, the 7-0-9-0s, unanimous 7, unanimous. They were the same thing. So the only difference is that she is now at the receiving end of the work of the same unanimous 7. So what has changed?
If you listen...
And if if now she's realizing that injustice can be delivered by the judiciary she was heading, then he should help us. He should agree with us that there is a need to reset the judiciary so that in future we rid it of all political manipulations.
I know you are a student of history also, and today she cited history. Mm-hmm. She says that the venue for the hearing, which is the Asiedu Lodge, has historical links to the murder of the judges. And that place was deliberately chosen. Of course, there was a request from the committee, and the state said, use that venue. She says that was deliberately chosen to, one, intimidate her, and also because of the historical significance of the place and the link to the judges, profoundly leave a message and a scar, psychological one, to get her to buckle under the weight and the pressure of what is happening.
But she claiming that she was tortured in that lodge or something.
She said she has somebody she was related to who was. She stayed in the person's house. She saw it at first hand, and that was the place that...
What were the what were the castles meant for? They were meant for, slave trade, where people were tortured in the dungeons and so on. After independence, we had to use the Christianborg Castle until recently. So that argument is neither here nor there. The structure itself can torture you. I don't think she's making a strong point, in my view.
She says she's
just playing to the gallery.
You think she is?
Yes. She's just trying to court public sympathy, which she doesn't deserve.
Why?
That's my opinion. She doesn't deserve, because this is a structure you yourself have used in the past. And you were shouting in your courtroom that the law is the law. So have we changed the laws? We haven't. Have we changed any of the judges she was operating with? We haven't. Have we passed any legislation that has changed the procedures and processes in the judiciary she was heading? We haven't changed anything. So if that judiciary had been delivering or administering justice to ordinary citizens, why on earth should he be thinking that she's a special human being who should be treated differently?
She says today that she's been threatened. She's received threats. People have threatened to harm her. She's not been given copies of the petition. Obviously, the psychological impact on this, there's even pressure on her to either resign or retire. You have no sympathy at all.
As a citizen, if you receive threats, what do? You report to the police. She should go and report to the police. Or you think that when she was a